Hello, today we're going to work on IXL assignment HC9, evaluate multivariable expressions. So when we are evaluating expressions, another name for this is substitution. And the reason why is we are substituting, we are replacing values in for our variables. So if we think about that, if you have a substitute teacher, your regular teacher is gone for the day, and so that substitute steps in and takes their place. Or if we look at it in terms of, sports, when you have substitutions, one player goes on the bench and another player goes in and replaces them for that moment in time. So when we are doing that with math, same exact concept. We swap out, we sub out all of our variables for the number that they represent. And by doing this, we are able to evaluate, we are able to solve our problem. So in this example here, we're being told to evaluate 3a minus 2b for a equals 10 and b equals 4. So in this problem, anytime we see the variable a, we substitute, we replace that with a 10. And then anytime we see a b, it's replaced with a 4. And then once you've done that, you just follow order of operations and get the answer of 22. The biggest thing that I want to point out about this is remember that 3a means 3 times a. So when we substitute that 10 in, it doesn't become the number 310. It becomes 3 times 10 because that's what was going on between the a, it was 3 times a. Now it becomes 3 times 10. Same goes with our 2b. That number and variable side by side mean multiplication. So it doesn't become a 24. It becomes a 2 times 4 since it was 2 times b. All right, now that you've had a chance to look over this example, let's hop on over to IXL and actually do some step-by-step together. All right, here we are on IXL, and we are working on assignment HC9, evaluate multivariable expressions. So we are being asked to find the value of this expression, 20 minus 6 times v minus 1 minus u, for u equals 1 and v equals 3. It may look a little lengthy, but notice that our numbers are small. It's definitely something that's doable. Just with problems like these, you may need to use paper and a pencil or use the pen tool here on IXL to be able to work this out so you don't accidentally lose track of where you're at and mix things up in your head. So I'm going to rewrite my problem here. For the first one, I'm going to rewrite the whole thing. So we have 20 minus 6 times v minus 1 minus u. And we are told that u is equal to 1 and v is equal to 3. So we're going to substitute, we're going to replace those variables, v and u, with the numbers 1 and 3. So everything else stays the same. So we still have 20 minus 6, but then instead of times v, it's going to be times 3 because v is equal to 3. And we have minus 1 and then minus u. Well, u is going to be the value of 1 because that's what it tells us it is. Now that we've done this, we can follow our order of operations. And remember, with your order of operations, I like to use the mnemonic GEMS. So G is for grouping symbols, E is for exponents, M is for multiplication or division, and S is for subtraction or addition. So when I look through that, I don't have any grouping symbols. I don't have any exponents. So that means we need to start with any multiplication or division. And I have multiplication. So everything else stays the same, but 6 times 3 is 18. And then now all that we have left is addition and subtraction. And I'm just going to do that from left to right. So 20 minus 18 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So notice that it is several steps, but thankfully the numbers were small. And even if they weren't small, you'd be able to use a calculator to do, some of the harder steps. So definitely doable. I know you guys can do this. Just please use that paper and pencil to show your work so that way you don't get frustrated by mixing things up in your head. All right, next problem, we want to find the value of this expression, C minus G minus D divided by 7. Looks a little funky, but we have our key here. So we're going to go through this time. I'm just going to substitute the very first time I write it. So C is equal to 18. I'm going to put that in. Then we have our minus sign, and we are subtracting from that G, which is 10. And from that, we are subtracting D, which is 14. And then we are dividing by 7. All right, we follow our order of operations, no grouping symbols, no exponents. First up would be this division right here. So 14 divided by 7 would be 2. Now all we have left is addition and subtraction. Going to do that from left to right. 18 minus 10 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. And we have found the value of our expression for those values. That is our answer. All right, next one up. V plus U to the power of T plus 2 for T equals 2, U equals 2, and V equals 3. All right, it may look a little crazy, but we can do this. Use your paper and pencil, write it on out. So first off, I see V, and we're told that V has the value of 3, and that is plus U, which has the value of 2. And then notice that we have a teeny tiny exponent of a T up here, which is the value of 2. And then we have just our plus 2 to begin with. So lots of 2's here. Thankfully, color coding can keep us straight. All right, order of operations, exponents come first. Remember that when we have an exponent, it's the number of times we multiply that by itself. So that means 2 times 2, which is 4. Now we can do our addition from left to right. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. Final answer. All right, let's step it up a notch here again. J times K divided by 15 divided by 5 times 5. All right, let's substitute these values in. Let's see what we got. So first we have a J, and J has the value of 3. And then that's being multiplied times K, which also has the value of 3. And then I don't see any other variables, so everything else is just going to be written as is. All right, order of operations, I do see parentheses that are representing a group of things. There's more than one thing inside of it, so we're going to start there. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Now we are left with all multiplication and division. Remember, when we get to that step in order of operations, it's not necessarily that we multiply before we divide. It's that we do any multiplication from left to right. So first, that means we're going to do 3 times 3, which is 9. So now we have 9 divided by 3 times 5. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 3 times 5 gives us our final answer of 15. All right, let's do one final problem here. As you can tell by my smart score, these problems, when you get higher up, are just going to have more parentheses, potentially more exponents, slightly larger numbers. But if you write it all out, use your calculator if necessary, I know that you guys can get this. All right, our expression here is in parentheses. We have U divided by S. Well, U has a value of 48. And that's divided by S, which has a value of 2. And then I notice that the S has an exponent of T, which happens to have a value of 2. And then we have the number 2 raised to the power of r, which also happens to have the value of 2. Clearly, this IXL assignment likes the number 2. Okay, let's get to work here. I see that I have some grouping symbols, and then within my grouping symbols, I have both division and exponents. Well, exponents would come first. 2 squared is 4. Oops, there we go. So now we have 48 divided by 4, which is 12. Now the grouping symbols are taken care of, but I have another set of exponents. 2 squared is 4. So 12 divided by 4, which would be 3. All right, it's now your guys' turn to try it. Good luck. I know that you can do it. If you feel like you want to see a few more examples, check out IXL's video right here. They have some great ones for you to view. And if you need anything, please reach out. Otherwise, good luck. Bye, guys.